What it do, y'all? We back. Hit them dollar signs. Money. Motherfucking money. We here, FCC TV, for the creatives of the culture. And today we got a special guest, a new guest. You know what I'm saying? I'll introduce her, but I'd rather her introduce herself.
Yo, what's good? It's your girl, Rubee Stone, a.k.a. Rubee B, the queen of all. You heard?
Let's go. Now,
Rubee
B, let's get it in. Yeah, but actually that, where is Rubee B
I'm
from
the Bronx. I'm from the BX. Shout out to the BX. Shout out to all my niggas.
That's official. The BX is in Brooklyn. So tell me about you growing up in the BX. What is it like for Rubee B? Everybody got their own experiences.
Well, growing up in the Bronx for me was a little hard, rough, you know. It's not like the usual struggles. You know, we a little more, you know, they try to say we on the bottom side, that's what they look at us as, but, you know, we live, we stay outside, we do what we do. Like, you know, we get to set our money. That's what we do.
So grow up in the Bronx, what are some of the best times you remember growing up?
Being outside with my friends, you know, chilling, you know, doing things, going to the movies, you know, hanging out on the weekends, going to parties. That's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. What's some of the worst times you could think of growing up?
Some of the worst times I could think about, I'm gonna keep it 100, was, you know, we wasn't as fortunate as other people. So it was, you know, times when we was hungry, you know, and I had to, you know, I was young, I had to hustle at a young age. So it was difficult with my mom. I was trying to keep her happy all the time because I didn't have my father and he was locked up. So you know how that goes.
How did you persevere through that? Because you here now, you pop it, he doing his numbers. How did you get through that all the years?
So, you know, I had to keep faith alive. Definitely. You know, I had to make sure, you know, my mother always, you know, knew I was going to be the one to keep the family together. Because, you know, I didn't have my dad, and I was like the oldest. So, you know, I had to make sure my family was good.
So basically you threw everything on your back at an early age.
I did everything I had to do to make sure my family ate, to make sure my family was good.
And through that, what was the pros and cons of that? So I know as growing up fast, in a way, you lose your childhood because you become like a parent. If you have little brothers, sisters, like did you lose like hanging out sometime because I gotta grind, do this, I can't hang with y'all because I gotta get food for the family, you know what I'm saying? How was that part?
I know it was like me, like going to school. I had to sometimes skip school because I wanted to go outside and make some money. And it was like school or go make money. So it was like I lost a little bit of education. And then it was also, with me being like a kid, I was more grown at a young age than, you know, other kids. Yeah. Because I was out hustling, I was out doing what I had to do, you know. And then, you know, I also joined, you know, my game, my, you know, blood at a young age. Okay. Because I was looking for, you know, that family figure, you know. So that's another thing I did at a young age that, you know, with.
And what was that about? As far as at that age, was it like a thing where I'm in it for family, or was it like the streets gang banging? And because most people hear blood, they think of cutting and all the rah-rah stuff.
Nah, it was a family thing. Like I like the you know, they always looked out for me. You know, when I needed it, that's why I joined. Like it wasn't no, I'm gonna be outside cutting people, fucking people up. Nah, it was the love that they brought me, you know, and that's what made me like want to be blessed.
So fast forward to that, I'm on your page, you make music. When did the transition come? Because to make music, you have to step back from that lifestyle. Sometimes you gotta go to the studio, show where you can't be with the gang. So when did the transition come, says, you know what, I want to do something different?
It was when my father passed away. So, you know, like I always was doing music, but I never really was in the studio. I never took it serious as much as, you know, and he always told me, like, yo, you mad creative, you need to go to the studio, you know. So before he passed away, I started going to the studio, which is crazy. And he's like, yo, I started getting big in my, and he was so proud of me. And when he passed away, he was like, they really hit me. But I even went harder. Like, that's what made me even go more harder. And, like, I'm not gonna give this shit up, like, you know, because I'm gonna make my family proud. I'm gonna make my father proud. This is what he wanted, like, you know. So, yeah, that's what actually made me even go harder.
What is some of your first experiences with music? Like you first started experimenting with music, like what can you remember?
My first experience with music was when I was writing poetry.
Wow, okay.
So I was always letting poems since I was young. So I started, turning my poetry into music, into raps. It was so easy to do. And then I always loved rap. I always was in love with Nicki Minaj, and fucking Jay-Z. Those were my top rap idols.
So that's my next question to ask you too. If someone would ask you what style would you compare yourself to, or an artist that influenced you, what would you say, them two, or is it like more because different generations have different people?
I would say I'm my own style. Like I do look up to Nicki and I do look up to Jay-Z and other artists, but I have my own style. Like I do my own thing. I'm me. Like you be like, who can you compare somebody with? You gotta compare to me. I'm a whole different type of style. So I'm Rubee. I don't compare myself to them, but I do look up to other artists. That's what I do.
So Rubee, how long do you say you've been doing this so far? How many years would you say?
Like what? Like music? I've been doing
like seriously, like you took it seriously.
I've been taking it serious for going on 4 years now.
Okay, and within this 4 years, how have you seen the music change in the city and being a female rapper with everything going on?
What you mean?
As far as like drill is like basically like a men's sport. So it's like how do you like feel like you have to make that music at this era now, or it's like I make what I want to make?
I make what I want to make. I jump on. I have different. Like if I want to make pop, I'm gonna do pop. Like if I want to do fucking, if I want to sing tomorrow, I'm gonna sing. Like I do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like yeah. But I do like to jump in. Like when it's hot, I do like to jump into that. Like I want to try it. Like that's my type of shit. Let me see if I can. And I love when it happens, and I'm like hot with it. Like because I do drill, and I'm like killing it right now.
Who's some of your artists? So tell me, explain the type of drill that you do. So people who don't know, people watching who understand, every artist comes with their own creativity. This is what we're here for. For creatives of the culture, you're getting this person's creativity. So yeah, give them some of your type of drill.
Oh, so my type of drill is like a fun type of drill. Like it's not that, oh yeah, we're gonna go out, run out, and do running on the house and you guys are fucking, that. My drill is like, yo, we getting money,
Okay.
We got jewelry, we fucking, like we living life. Let's, have fun. Like my drill is different. I'm speaking to people more on let's get money, let's fucking do shit. Like that's my type. I'm not talking about yo, let's go outside, let's go kill the oxen. That's like where I transition my drill from. So because I know kids is listening. So yeah.
Well, that's definitely so. You feel like artists should have some accountability in their music because kids listen. Because you have people who will say, "Oh well, the parents should teach their kids it's just music," but do the artists have accountability to still be like, maybe I should or shouldn't?
But I feel like anybody should do whatever they want to do. If they speaking about their life, I feel like to express what you feel. Like nobody should tell you no. This is what music is, and yeah, I do feel like. I'm different. Like I'm not saying like I feel like it's kids listening, and I don't want to say too much, but I was in the beginning saying too much. So I started noticing. I have a daughter. And, I don't want her to be like dead mom. Singing my song that she sings. But other people, I feel like they express their feelings the way they want to express their feelings, and I don't think they should change it any type of way. That's how I feel.
So as of now, what do you like more, the recording studio part or the performance part?
I love performing, and I love recording too, because that's how I gotta go out to perform. But the performance part is my favorite part. I love the crowd. I love turning up.
So you come alive.
Yeah.
So you turn up. You give them a show.
Yeah, I
gotta catch one of those.
Oh, I turn the fuck up. Everybody know how to fuck. I do.
What's one of your favorite songs of yours that right now, if anybody watching, they can say they can go look at right now? Like, yo, go check this shit. This shit right here. Like, yo, I fucked with her.
So Cocky.
Okay.
That right now is the number one song I'm pushing right now, and it's part of my album Takeover, which I'm pushing Takeover too. But that song right there is the song right now that everybody's pushing.
Right.
So the DJs playing it in the club, and they putting it on their freaking mixtapes. I'm on people's mixtapes. I'm on people's playlists.
So what does that feel like now? Grinding and seeing the success, seeing things happen. Like, what does that feel like? I know you've been through a lot.
It feels so good to see like everything I'm working for come into order. Like it's like I see like I'm not just doing that because I see a lot of I'm not like I know a lot of rappers that been doing it and they like damn, like fucking succeeded that me, like,
Yeah.
and it feels good, like damn, well that means I'm doing something good. Like, so it makes me work even harder, like it motivates me. So I'm excited. I'm ecstatic.
And tell us where the name come from. The name.
So I'm a Rubee. I look at myself as a Rubee, and you know I feel like I'm a rock as a student. So I call myself Rubee. So. And then Rubee B is my blood name. Rubee Gray. You know, so I go by both names. Rubee, so aka Rubee.
Now let me ask you this: with New York City, as we see a lot of artists affiliations with gangs before they was artists, after they was artists, we see how cops, been indictments with all the different sets, all the different gangs. How do you tread the line of being a rapper and still being a gang member with all what's going on?
So lately, so I'm a gang member. I rep my shit all the way. But with my music, and this is my business. I transition that. I look at myself, my Rubee Stone as a business. So I don't bring my game life into that business. So when if I was doing music, the cops would never be like, oh, she be like that. I don't be like, oh yeah, I'm with my brim niggas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we outside. Like I don't do that. It's like music. I'm talking about my life, my music and all that. So yeah, that's where I had to transition a little bit too. Like in the beginning, I was like a little bit coming out, like big beats and all that. But then I started noticing I'm a business. I'm trying to make money. I want other people to look at me like, yo, I want to make money with her. So I had to transition with that too. People gonna learn that. Like I want other people, artists to know too. Like don't bring your game life and your business like together. That's no. You're not gonna get nowhere with that. That's what a lot of artists fuck up.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Right, this question. If you home, right, you chilling, you get a call, yo, go to YouTube right now. They dissing you on the song. What you doing? You responding or you waving your head?
It's fun. So the music is fun. So I'm responding. Right?
All right. How competitive?
Right. I'm responding. This is music. You want to play? We can play back beat all day. Like,
all right.
So I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not responding. No, this is fun. Like to me, like let's play back beat.
all right, definitely. So what artists have you worked with? And tell me, what's your process of you recording the album? Because the album is a lot. A lot of people just drop singles, and you know what I'm saying. An album is a lot. So what's your process?
So my process of recording an album is it takes me a year to record an album, and I gotta go around the world to record an album. So I gotta be in a different thing. Like the recording takeover, I went to Texas, I went to Miami, I went to Atlanta, I went to Delaware, I went all over before. And then when I came back and finished by October, I was ready to drop that album. Because I have to have different type of
inspiration,
vibes and inspiration. So I gotta be places like yo, I want to go because I feel like this right here is the only thing. That's how I look at it. That's my process.
And so Takeover 1 is out, or that's the one that's coming?
Takeover is out. It dropped in February 1st. I dropped that. This is my album for the year, and it's running them numbers up right now.
So let me ask you. A lot of people don't like to do features with artists that they don't know. Would it matter to you if an artist you don't know want to do a song with you? Like somebody hit you up like, yo, I like you, but you like, I don't know this person, my whole world. Would you be like, hey?
It depends. Like, I don't want to just do music with just anybody. Like, cause now that I'm bigger and again, like, I'm not saying I'm bigger again, but now that I'm like,
further than you were.
I don't want to just be like, oh, just cause you like me, I'm gonna do a song and then you don't, it's not good. Like, I gotta vibe with you. I gotta know you. I gotta be able to be like, yo, we cool. Like, yeah.
All right. So this question I'm gonna ask you too. There was headlines with what's her name? The rapper Lotto, and a couple other female rappers that said how dudes want to do songs with them, but they want pussy in exchange, and I think somebody want to clear a song or stuff like that. How do you deal with that if that will happen? And have you ever dealt with somebody trying to do that as a female rapper in this business?
Like trying to not play my song?
Or have sex with you for songs, like nigga play around, like.
Yes, I have, and you know what I do? I just be like, nigga, I don't need you. I move on, like. Because at the end of the day, niggas feel like they clout that they got right now would make us feel like, oh yeah, I'm fucking with that. But for me, I know my creativity, my music is good. Nigga, you want to fuck with me because you like my music. And nigga, I'm not gonna fuck you because you think that I gotta fuck you because no. I move on. And then it's a lot of niggas that see me now, they like, damn, I should have never. Damn, she was good.
They got the papers.
Yeah, I'm up there. They look like, fuck, I should have just. Yeah, nigga, I didn't need you. Like, we could have made this money together. Think about the money aspect.
Kept a business relationship.
We could make money together, but you fucked that up.
Definitely. So, what other business ventures into? You said you're a brand. So, all the things are you into for people to understand?
Yeah, I do features, you know, I do hosting parties, you know, I do events. I'm about to have a So Cocky event. Shout out to Mazzy Music Group. And for the Focus Management, they're about to throw me a whole, you know, So Cocky event. And I do tours. I do everything. Like, whatever the fuck
you into acting?
Yeah, I'm into acting too. I'm a very great actor. I'm the best.
I believe you. I love your confidence. So, who would be the artist from New York City you want to feature with? So right now, New York City is like, I think, the biggest market right now in the game.
Like, who would I want to do a feature with? Young Devin.
Where Young Devin from? Bronx?
He's from Brooklyn.
Oh, from Brooklyn.
I always love her. She's
lit. Oh, it's a female?
Yeah, she is lit. You
never
heard her straight, let me get straight to it.
I probably heard the song, but probably don't know the face and all like that, but I didn't hear that one. But shout out to Young Devin. I never heard of her, but we definitely will look into her music and everything like that.
Yeah, she's lit. And then Kaya Baby.
Oh yeah, Kaya Baby, definitely.
Kaya Baby, if you watching, come hit me up. I love you, bitch.
I know. My partner, she does all her publishing and media and stuff like that. So,
I love her. She's
so hopefully she watches. She'll see our share and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And she's all about her city queen. She better to you know.
So being from the Bronx, is there a stigma where like, yo, you from the Bronx, you come with these wild just because the Bronx is Bronxing?
Yeah, all the time. They always think like, you know, every time I be like, I'm from the y'all like fuck out of here. I go wrong for the Bronx. I be having a whole fucking hour argument with them niggas. Don't ever talk about the Bronx. Like, fuck what you talk about. We lit. We fucking make the money, nigga. Y'all be hating on us. Ooh, yeah, but I got stigmas. Everybody hate on the Bronx. They be like, oh, y'all mad now, da. Like, fuck y'all. That's how we are. We have high confidence of ourselves. Like, fuck you talking about.
No, that's not wrong with that. So, being a rapper, do you do music with Crips like other gangs, or?
I mean, like, I do music for other gangs. It's about a business. Like, as long as you're not coming in like fuck bloods, you know, if you're not talking about gang shit, then I don't care. Like, I always tell them like, yo, we could do a song there, but we're not gonna do this gang shit. I'm not gonna do the blood shit. We're not gonna do shit. We're not gonna have all our blue niggas and blood niggas come out. We just gonna keep it.
Because it seems like now that rappers find a way out the hood, they find a way back in jail. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, how does artists try to move around with other artists? Basically saying, once you get hot, other artists don't want to be around you, but a lot of the other artists come with a lot of street stuff and stuff like that. So it comes to a point where you got this yourself. Some people might take that as shady. So are you prepared for the ups and downs that come with this?
I'm already going through that. Like, I'm an artist that I see a little bit of that. And I be like, so when I do my shows and stuff, I'm in the shows, I talk to everybody. But then when it's time to move, like, when they doing their thing, I always want to go home. Because I'm the type that I like everybody in my but when I don't want to get into no bullshit. You know, I'm in this to win this. You know, I'm not in this to lose it. You know. But I fuck with everybody. But when it comes to like a crowd of people and I know like I'm like, nah, let me just go home. Because this is not what I can't even do my show.
That's a fact. So you say you're a fan of Nicki Minaj, and are you a fan of Lil' Kim? If there was a versus, who do you think won? I always ask every female this. I want to see a female's opinion.
If it was a versus between Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim, Lil' Kim.
Finally. Finally, somebody said everybody else is Nicki Minaj.
Why would you say that? No, but I love Nicki Minaj, but damn, I cannot compare Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim. You see, I didn't even put them in a category.
That's what I was saying. They come up here, I ask them, like, yo, what you think? Like, I guess they feel like if they didn't hear somebody in a long time, they feel like they're outdated, stuff like that.
No, outdated. Who, Lil' Kim?
That's what people feel like they don't see.
She's versatile. Like, I would never say Lil' Kim could be outdated. Like, she's like, so she might not be making music now, but I'm talking about the music that she was making before. Like, everybody was loving her. it's because now, like, she not making music, they still playing her music.
Definitely that.
They just took her style. Like, I cannot say it. A lot of
Who
people
took her style? Everybody.
Who you think took her style?
No, I'm just saying everybody, because it's like in hip hop culture things become trendy. You know what I'm saying? It just was what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, everything becomes trendy. So it's like, yeah, I want to be like Lil Kim, and then nobody would notice. Like, it's a legacy. Like, people start doing it.
All right, so let me ask you this: you're a female rapper now. At this current stage of hip hop, you know, rap evolves: drill, hip hop, dance, pop locking, down south pop. And now there's a new resurgence of stripper rap. And it's like, how do you feel about that version of that part of the hip hop game now?
The stripper rap.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody got their own lane. So like, and a lot of people like stripper rap. So I feel like, you know, like everybody got their own lane. So I don't have nothing bad to say about stripper rap, because I be sometimes when I'm stripping, like, you know, everybody got it. So I don't got no problem with it. Like,
yeah, that's facts. But in the day, music is music, because
music
no matter how much you shake your ass, there's a chick out there shaking her ass with 25 views playing her music. So everybody shaking ass is not going viral. So it's not like it's a quick way to get on.
No, it's not a quick way to get on, but I think they feel like everybody got their own type. They got strippers and stuff that, you know, they want to twerk. They gotta have the twerk music, but I'm like, what the hell? What they gonna twerk to? They can't twerk to rap or like, you know, just regular rap and bars. They're gonna need music, so they're gonna need people that make twerk music.
So long term,
need their own music.
No, definitely twerk music. We need that shit. We need twerk music. We need that shit. You go down to Instagram with that new shit. Walking there, too loud. Too loud. That's that shit right there. That's that shit right there. So long-term goals, are you looking for independent or major? Like, what do you feel?
Right now, since I'm just like, I'm still in the beginning, I'm staying independent. Because I'm not looking for no dumb, you know, stupid deal. I want somebody to come to me like, yo, you know, like millions. Not just a million. I'm talking about millions. Like, yo, I signed you for like 3.5, 4.5. Like,
then when they do that,
I gotta keep putting that work in. You know, I need people to keep recognizing me. So I'm still
working. Let me ask you this question. Because through this whole interview, I noticed something. You gotta grind, hustle, mind. Where all this come in? This grind, this hustle, this focus, mind. Where all this come in to have you focus like this? You focus like the street nigga out here getting it, I'm getting it in.
Well, my management team keep me like that. But he fuck his management. Like,
right.
You know, when I first started, I was a fucking baby about it.
Okay.
And you know, he had to keep me like, he told me like, yo, you got talent, and you know, you could be something. You just gotta keep your head in the game. And when he told me that, like, I never really had, like I told you, like, you know, I don't really have people tell me like, yo, you could be somebody. So when he told me that, I'm like, you know what? I gotta keep my head in the game. So I just kept my head in the game.
That's good advice. That's some of the best advice.
Yeah, like, you know, not everybody is there to tell you, yo, you motivated, you could do something.
All right.
So that actually, what my management team, they came in and they fucking shut shit down. Shout out to Fully Focused Management.
So how long have you been with Fully Focused Management?
I've been with Fully Focused Management for going on 4 years now. Okay,
so tell me, how did you meet them? How did this come about?
So I met him at a show. I was gonna rap at a show. It was like what I forgot the show, where we was at. Like it was at a rap showcase, and he was like, "Yo, you mad talented," and then ever since then, he was like, "Yo, I can manage you. No money, no nothing, you know." And then boom.
That's a lot of times you'll meet good people like that. A lot of times people try to take advantage of you. A lot of times people try to wave numbers or dollars or drop names, and they be trying to come out. But somebody give that kind of advice. That's somebody that's there for you to win.
Exactly.
That's official. So when is Takeover 2 coming? For the people watching, when we expect Takeover 2?
So I'm not dropping another album until next year, but I will be dropping singles for summer. I'm already ready for that. I just wanted my album to, you know, make numbers. You know, I want everybody to be familiar with what the fuck Rubee is about to do. So now I'm about to drop singles and videos, and I'm going to tour, and I'm doing that shit.
Well, tell everybody where they can find Rubee Stone at.
Yo, y'all can find me on Instagram at The Real Rubee with 2 E's, RUBEESTONE, and on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, Rubee Stone.
Let me ask you, you do those yourself too? You design that everything yourself?
Yeah, this is my little style. Everybody knows, like, when I come
It's definitely creative. Definitely creative. I noticed that. As I said, FCC TV for creators of the culture.
FCC
And you were definitely a creator of the culture. And it was definitely a great interview with Rubee Stone. We definitely want to come back too because we do freestyle sessions like we did with other artists. So we would come back freestyle, pick a beat, whatever we do, and we get it in. Yo, definitely love this interview. This artist definitely could look into because the energy is there, the confidence is there, the hustle is there, the management team is there to make sure it's right. I mean, what else you need?
Right. Shout out to my other Mazuma music group.
Definitely plugged it in, made it happen. So, you performing tonight too, right?
Yes, I'm also performing at the bikini strip, bikini boxing, the bikini boxing match.
Wait, bikini boxing?
Yes, bikini boxing is about to be lit.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's in Brooklyn.
The niggas ain't tell me?
Both black.
Oh yeah, it's
about to be a movie. I'm
bikini boxing. Are you performing there too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's beautiful.
So yeah.
I just want to go get some water splashed to me or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know it's definitely be a movie. Yo, FCC TV for the creators of the culture. Get that money! The almighty dollar! And we out. Let's go tonight.
Yeah, that was a vibe. I was loving it.
And that was official.